Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, F8 Well Centers, and I'm super excited to go over today why we see patients that are fatigued, why we see patients that do not have the energy they want to have, and you can call it I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I've got fibromyalgia, all of these different things that people can get labeled, but why? Why do people actually get tired? Why are they tired? And why don't they have the energy that they want? That's what I'm going to get into today. And I would love to help you understand the physiology of where energy comes from. So there's some basic ideas when we're thinking about energy, when we're talking about energy metabolism. Inside of our cells, there's a little organism called the mitochondria. That little organelle is going to produce ATP. ATP is our energy. And where does that ATP come from? It comes from oxygen and it comes from glucose. Those come together and they produce ATP and kick off CO2 as that waste product. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for ways to make sure we have enough oxygen and glucose to make that ATP, and then also looking for things that could be causing it to not make that type of energy. So, again, welcome everybody, and this is a crucial part of life because so many people are fatigued, so many people are tired, so many people do not have that oomph to get up and go and be that vibrant best self they can be. So let's think about what is going on with oxygen and what is going on with getting oxygen into our cells, into our brain, all these places that we need it to produce more ATP and more energy. Well, when we think about oxygen, first thing you have to think about is how is oxygen transported around the body? And that is going to be our hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is heme, the iron, is going to grab a hold of that oxygen and help transport it around the body. So we've got hemoglobin, which is basically iron in that oxygen, and it transports it to the different cells and to the different parts of the body that need that oxygen to ultimately make the ATP via that mitochondria and the Krebs cycle. So with that oxygen, you have to make sure that it's getting transported. One of the crucial things you need is enough iron. This is why it's so important to look at ferritin and your ferritin levels. If they are under 40 in your blood work, ferritin is your stored iron. If that's under 40, you are not going to get the oxygen to the tissues like you need. There could also be a pernicious type anemia, which is going to be a B12 folic acid deficiency that is not going to allow that oxygen to get to the tissues like it should as well. But the most common is the iron anemia. So that's one of the first things that you have to look at. Rule out that anemia. If you have a low ferritin, less than 40, you will never have the energy that you want. Number two is going to be glucose. You've got to get glucose to your tissues like you need, and that glucose is going to combine with the oxygen and you're going to make ATP, you're going to make energy. So how do you get glucose to the tissues? Well, the first thing you need to do is have consistent glucose. You need to have glucose nice and steady, 85 to 110 all day every day. uh, hey, Jamie, good to see you. Low ferritin and no energy. Yeah. So, Jamie, if you have a low ferritin, it's going to be impossible for you to have the energy that you want, that you truly desire. And so, here's how this goes. Um, I'll look at blood work in patients, and they will show, oh, you've got a low ferritin, you've got a chronic infection, you've got a low thyroid hormone state, these different things. And I'm like, there is no way, no possible way that you are going to have a good, consistent energy. It's just impossible. And ferritin is one of those. But you have to think about why do you have low ferritin in the first place? Why do you have low ferritin? And what can you actually do about it? So if you have a low ferritin, low stored iron state, think about, oh, this is probably because you're not absorbing, utilizing your iron, and you may actually be losing blood through the digestive tract. So low ferritin goes hand in hand with leaky gut, with malabsorption, with intestinal permeability, and you've got to do everything you can to get that gut lining as strong and powerful as possible. We call this leaky gut, and the 4 R's to help this process. So what are the 4 R's? Remove any pathogens, so you kill off the bad stuff. Remove any food allergens, so gluten, corn, soy, dairy, grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, short term during this leaky gut process. You need to re-inoculate, so after you kill off, then you bring back in the good stuff. So if you are killing off, you've got to bring good stuff in after that. Do not just take a probiotic, you have to kill off first, and then you want to repair glutamine, marshmallow root, aloe vera juice, zinc carnosine, bone broth, collagen, fermented vegetables. All these things can help to nourish and heal up that gut lining. And then number 4 is going to be you replace any enzymes, stomach acid, any bile salts if you've had your gallbladder removed, anything along the digestive tract that you're not producing like you need to. That is how you start healing up leaky gut. Then we get into the thought process of that blood sugar, and you think about, okay, blood sugar too high, you're not going to get glucose into the brain and into the cells like you need to. Blood sugar too low, that's hypoglycemia, tired, spacey, hangry. Anybody been hangry? But put down below if you get hangry. And so then you've got this process of blood sugar dysregulation, but you never get that glucose into your bloodstream like you truly need. So one of the biggest things that you have to look at if you're having fatigue is look at the glucose levels, stabilize that 85 to 110 all day long. If you don't know how to do that, get a continuous glucose monitor. We were the first office in the world that used a CGM with every one of their patients to truly figure out where their blood sugar is. And not just for diabetics, not just for pre-diabetics, but for everybody. We're able to dial in exactly what their blood sugar should and should not be doing. So do that, and then figure out if you are low ferritin, if you're anemic, you've got to fix that gut. You've got to fix that gut lining and help that absorption. So thanks for jumping on today, guys. If you have any questions at all, put those down below. And thanks for jumping on. And if you have not seen our other channels on TikTok, over 315,000 followers on there. Instagram, over 100,000 followers now. Facebook, over 125,000 on all of our channels there. So love seeing you guys. If you've got any questions at all about energy, put those down below, and I would love to help you. Take care, guys.